Welcome to Space Socket. A 36-year-old woman with 4 children says men always leave her. Kevin Samuel steps in to school her and tells her to get help. Let's dive in.
Whew, I'm over here crying. Oh my God. How are you?
Getting, getting yourself.
All right. All
Okay.
right.
All
How
right.
old are
All
you?
jokes aside.
How old are you?
36.
All right. We're talking about dating cost of this 2 over 3. What are we talking about?
I take what the young lady just was trying to do
The
to
da- Okay. Are you single or are you married?
you know.
Would you like to be married one day?
Yes.
Some people don't. I don't know.
Um, I mean, yeah. Eventually. Right now, I'm really not looking, trying to really like get myself together, or so focused on me and my kids. But
Can you do me a favor? Can you turn the TV down a little bit?
sure. 1 second. Okay. So, like I said, basically, I'm just like focusing on me and my kids right now. But yeah, eventually, I would like to get married.
You said focusing on you and your kids. How many children do you have?
4. So I have 2 husbands.
you have 4.
Yeah, 4.
Um, and how old are you again?
36.
So when you ladies say you're focusing on your kids, um, what does that mean? I mean,
Oh well, my daughter's father.
mm-hmm,
I just recently got out of a relationship, so
mm-hmm,
it's been a year. We was living together, so I actually left the house and left the car because it wasn't good. It wasn't a good space for my kids.
okay.
So I
Is it all your kids by you said by 2 different guys?
yes, my both of my daughters are by him, and 2 of my sons are by another.
Okay,
I have 2 girls and 2 boys.
okay. So how old is your youngest?
My youngest is 2.
And you're not still with the father?
No, we've been broken up for a year now.
Okay. So I always ask, have you ever had any counseling or therapy?
No. I think I might need some because I have a problem as far as with trust, like trust issues with when it comes to men because of the previous things that I've been through with my daughter's father.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say that plays a part too because I really don't allow people to get too close to me because I always think it's always something other than what they say it is.
You allow them to get close enough to get you pregnant.
Well, I mean, like I said,
They get
with
kind of
my
close.
with them, it's been long relationships. Like my daughter's father, I met him when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
I got pregnant with my first daughter with him. I was 25.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we broke up. Um, I got with my high school sweetheart, which I had my 2 sons with.
Mm-hmm.
That was a long relationship, and it didn't work out. We tried to, but it didn't. And then I got back with my daughter's father, and then I had my last baby with him.
Okay. So
And
I would say that sitting down with somebody to work all this out would be a good idea because you got 4 children with 2 different guys and you're just kind of going back through.
hmm
And
well,
how
I'm
old are
not
you
going
again?
back and forth. I mean, I'm
Well,
good.
well, how old are you?
I'm 36.
Well, but moving forward, you still have 4 children. And if you
Yes.
ever want to have something in the future, is all your stuff in the past with your children's fathers and your issues and your
It's
traumas?
it's in the past. It's in the
Okay.
past. I mean, we co-parent. We don't have no problems. But as far as relationship wise or anything other than our kids, no, nothing.
So have you dated in the last year?
Like I said, I tried to, but I get scared. Like I said, I've been through a
That's
lot.
why that's why I say therapy. It's good because it can't do it on the Instagram show. But fear,
No, but
scarcity.
I seen you, and personally, I wanted to talk to you, because I like the way you talk and the things that you discuss. So I thought maybe you could help me.
Well, this is. I mean, it's kind of late, but I'm going to tell you this: you got a lot going on, and I would say this: anytime any of us, men or women, make a decision based in fear, scarcity, or lack, it tends to be the wrong-headed decision. And
Mhm.
there's only so much we can do on a YouTube show. So, for your sake, to make sure
Right.
you're in the right headspace to be the best version of yourself and the best mother possible, it'll be wise to sit down with a professional. So
Right.
I do try to have a little compassion when I see that something's going on. Now I'm gonna sit down and say, I'm gonna say you probably should sit down. There's a website called BetterHelp.com,
Okay.
BetterHelp.com.
Hmm.
They have online therapists that can talk to you initially, and if you're busy or whatever, and before you can actually go get your insurance to go see somebody. So I'm gonna recommend that to you. BetterHelp.com.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You have a good one. Bye bye. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 37.
37. So what are we talking about? Are we talking about dating costs, or are we talking about the 2/3 rule?
I would like to talk about dating cost.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
Any children?
I have a 17-year-old son, yes.
All right. So what do you want to talk about on the dating costs?
Can you just be a little bit more specific of what
Mm-hmm.
it entails?
Well, back when the world made sense, before you got the privilege of having a baby, you used to have have a husband. That's a cost. You had to say, I'm going to be with this man for the rest of my natural life in front of the entire village or the entire town, and you had to stay with him. And you had to act like you had some sense. You had to cook, clean, and take care of this man and the children. You had to be a good wife, a good neighbor, a good mother, a good friend. You had to stay appealing and attractive to your husband to make him like to come home to you.
So, for someone, I'm older,
Mm-hmm.
37, I'm not married, and if I feel that I'm doing that, am I not doing something adequately, or am I
You feel like
just,
you're doing that what?
I feel like when I do date, I bring income to the table, I bring sex.
Nothing, ma'am, nothing I said
Mhm.
was about income.
I I was I wasn't finished. I'm sorry. I do cook, so I feel I'm very domesticated, but I think that somewhere I'm lacking, and I'm not sure what I'm doing incorrectly.
Okay, well, the first thing is nothing I mentioned had anything to do with provision. How come you and your child's father decided not to marry?
We were just toxic. We met in college, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even plan to have a child. We just weren't good for each other.
What's your longest relationship?
7 years.
When did that end?
That ended about 6 years ago.
Why did it end?
Um, I At one point in time in my life, I was an alcoholic. I'm in recovery now. So I had some issues that pushed him away.
Okay. How long have you been sober?
4 years.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. You've done a lot of work with alcoholics and addicts. Not easy.
No.
So is that having an impact on your current dating relationships?
It is. I feel it's hard I was very toxic at one point,
Mm-hmm.
and being healthy is, for lack of a better term, is hard to be healthy when I'm accustomed to toxicity.
Okay. Well, your sobriety has to become number one. Um, when you date, at what point do you bring up um, your past?
I try not to bring it up too soon,
Okay.
because people are
Yeah,
nervous.
I understand. I get it. Yeah,
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 so
yeah,
it's
I get
like if
it.
I feel it's going somewhere or some potential, maybe some months down the road, yes. I mean, the last person I was dating, I told him a little bit too. He felt he needed to know prior to me telling him.
Yeah, yeah. People always say that shit. Half this country's addicted to something. So
Right.
before people decide to judge you, if it ain't alcohol, it's pain pills. If it ain't pain pills, it's a street drug. If it ain't that, look at the people on drinking and sexing and everything else. This country is a country of addicts and alcoholics. So, because are you an outpatient? Are you keeping up with your counseling and therapy,
I
your meetings
still
and things like that?
I still have a sponsor. I still speak to her
Okay.
probably every week. I still go to online AA and things of that nature. So I
Well,
still,
as long as it stays top of mind, you know the struggles, so we move on.
yeah.
But yeah, people think I was bullshitting. I do this in real life, people.
Well,
Um,
I do appreciate it because
I
I
get it.
watch
It's
your live,
like,
so it's hard, and it was hard for me to come speak to
man,
you.
please. In corporate America, I work with a vice president. He was an active heroin addict, and he actually mentioned it in the company meeting. I was like, whoa. Man was making $300,000 a year talking about yeah, I'm like, really? Okay. Anywho, but how are you meeting?
Most of the
What,
men I meet are online.
that's problem number one.
Okay, because I
Trying to
can't go
meet.
to the bar, so it's like,
Well, of course you can. Don't. I don't suggest that either. But
right.
what I'm saying is, online dating is really, in my opinion, best for people who are just kind of getting back out there and supplemental to get additional attention. But really, with the things you got going on, I would say you want to meet people who are doing because you can't afford to meet people who are in unhealthy areas. So this is why becoming a regular at a gym, at a restaurant, at some things that support your sobriety.
Mhm.
Um, Volunteering. I'm big on charity work, like not a charity, but like nonprofit American Heart Association, Habitat for Humanity, um, and try to put yourself in positions to where it will support your sobriety. How often are you working out consistently?
I do have a gym in my complex, and there's
Uh,
never anyone in there. I don't go
no,
to
no, no,
like
no.
a Planet
See that,
Fitness or LA
and
Fitness.
that's what you need to,
Okay.
because you can't. And this is a problem. You got to get out and be around people. See, gyms are like nightclubs without the music and the drinking. You got to get out around human males in order to be able to have that interaction, because online is as simple as this: swipe left, swipe right. If they either like the way you look or they don't like the way you look, and then what they like you for is irrelevant. But you need to. I would say I don't understand why you ladies don't actually find the hottest gym in the city and join it. And then in your city, what's the church, the church, the largest church with the biggest singles ministry? Join that.
That's a good one. That's a good idea. I
Yeah.
actually
Well, that's
located to a whole different coast, so I used
well,
to have that church background. Now I don't have it. So
the largest church with the largest singles ministry. Every city has a part of town where the young urban professionals kind of live and feed that and enjoy that kind of stuff. And then, but of course, stay away from and the party scene isn't really that big at our age. So maintaining your sobriety and stuff, as long as you construct a life around, you should have a full life around your mental health and your sobriety, to where you'll find somebody in this area versus having to go over there and put that kind of stuff at risk.
right. Thank you.
So, like riding a good, healthy activities like bike riding. Bike riding is great for stress, great for stress relief and all other kind of stuff. You'll be amazed if you start finding physical activities to replace compulsive behaviors, things that often happen with alcoholism, drug addiction, that kind of stuff. But here's the funny thing: people want to judge this shit, but you need to understand it's the very things that make people such good addicts and alcoholics are the very talents that most of these high-level executives have. It's an obsessive compulsive disorder. So I'm good with it. I understand most of this country's alcoholics and addicts and drunk. I'm good with it. You're fine.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
A 36-year-old with 4 children saying men always leave her isn't just a situation, it's a pattern. Because when the same outcome keeps happening, the focus has to shift from blaming the result to examining the process behind it. This is where Kevin Samuels brings in a hard but necessary truth, because men always leave removes accountability from the equation. In reality, people choose who they deal with, what they tolerate, and how long they stay in situations. And when those choices don't change, the outcomes usually don't either. Now add 4 children into the situation, and the dynamic becomes more complex. It's not just about 2 people anymore. It's about responsibility, stability, and long-term structure. And for many men, especially those thinking long-term, that level of responsibility requires serious consideration before committing. So when relationships keep ending, the real question becomes, what patterns are being repeated? Is it the type of men being chosen? Is it the behavior within the relationship? Is it expectations that don't align with reality? Because without identifying that, nothing improves. And this is where the get help part comes in, not as an insult, but as a solution. Because if emotional patterns, decision-making, or past experiences are driving the same results, then outside perspective and guidance become necessary to break that cycle.